California lawmakers last Thursday approved a program to provide monthly checks to its residents. The Guaranteed Income Program would prioritize pregnant people and those aging out of the foster system. California is the first to implement this type of program. This first-of-a-kind state initiative will distribute monthly checks to residents, marking a step toward a universal basic income. California's legislature unanimously approved a $35 million guaranteed income program funded by taxpayer dollars, in which residents can receive monthly checks of up to $1,000. The text of the bill says the program will prioritize residents who are aging out of the foster system, as well as pregnant women. Additionally, from what we know so far, it does not contain any restrictions for spending the monthly payment. Now, this program was modeled after a successful universal basic income program in Santa Clara County last year that offered $1,000 monthly checks for a year to young adults who were no longer eligible for foster care. The program directs the California Department of Social Services to administer the funds equitably for both rural and urban applicants. By the way, if we haven't met yet, I'm Joe and I love to make videos around personal finance, investing in real estate, and some other life topics. If you find any value in the video, please do me a favor and tap the like button. It really helps me out. Alright, in other news, state leaders in California have approved a $100 billion plan to further the economic recovery in California that includes new stimulus checks for residents, rent relief, and grants to small businesses. Now, this was first proposed back in May. California Governor Gavin Newsom signed the legislation last week. The plan mandates immediate cash relief to middle-class families and businesses hit hard by the pandemic. He stated that creating the biggest state tax rebate in American history and the largest small business relief package in the nation. According to Newsom, the plan will see 2 out of every 3 Californians receive a Golden State stimulus check in the form of the biggest state tax rebate in American history. Newsom also stated that nearly 2/3 of residents now qualify for a stimulus check of $600, and qualified families with children will receive an additional $500. The plan also includes $5.2 billion to help low-income renters and landlords, covering 100% of back rent and all prospective rent for several months into the future. Newsom also stated that $2 billion will be allocated for past due water and utility bills and more money for tenant legal assistance. Now, as far as small businesses, the plan will provide an additional $1.5 billion in direct grants for California small businesses, including $120 million towards a grant program to incentivize businesses to relocate to the state. Alright, so let's talk about universal basic income. The idea of a universal basic income is becoming increasingly popular. Now, the pandemic spurred Congress to approve 3 stimulus checks for Americans, and some Democrats called to continue those checks well beyond the end of the pandemic, and there's actually a petition on change.org asking Congress to approve $2,000 monthly stimulus checks. Now, a recent report from the Economic Security Project in April found that 4th and 5th rounds of stimulus checks could help to cut the number of Americans in poverty this year to 16 million from 44 million, while helping close imbalances in poverty, income, and wealth between white Americans and Americans of color. Now, so far, Biden has not said whether recurring direct stimulus payments will become a reality, but California might have paved the way for other states to give residents guaranteed monthly payments. Now, the federal government has previously approved 3 rounds of stimulus checks during the virus pandemic, and this will mark the second direct payment passed at the state level in California. Now, after President Joe Biden took office, Democrats in March of this year pushed through a 3rd round of stimulus payments of up to $1,400, which no Republicans in Congress supported. Now, as far as additional federal stimulus check, a 4th stimulus check, more than 80 Democratic lawmakers in Congress have publicly backed providing additional stimulus support to Americans as millions remain unemployed and face economic difficulties due to the fallout from the pandemic. The petition on change.org calling for recurring stimulus checks of $2,000 per month has gained nearly 3 million signatures in support since it was first launched. The federal unemployment bonus and the previous round of stimulus checks have helped Americans still awaiting the recovery to pay bills and put food on the table. But I honestly feel that this was a short-term fix for a longer-term problem. And if you ask me, the money seems to be running out well before many people find another job, and there are a lot of politicians that feel the payments haven't done enough. A May 17th letter from members of the House Ways and Means Committee renewed the push for additional stimulus. They stated that $1,400 checks alone will keep 11 million people out of poverty this year, with unemployment insurance expansion and other provisions in the bill accounting for another 5 million. They went on to state that a 4th and 5th stimulus check could keep an additional 12 million Americans out of poverty. Combine that with the effect of direct payments, we could reduce the number in poverty this year from 44 million to 16 million. There's talks about automatic payments going out with economic metrics meet threshold. For example, if unemployment rises to 6%. These triggers would make stimulus checks a reactive force in countering what's happening in the economy, and it would also spare struggling Americans from any congressional additional delays. Now, financial insecurity is still widespread, and the loss of a job and the loss of hours have been some of the main reasons. 10% of American adults, which is approximately 20 million people, reported a shortage of food in their household over the previous week. This information was gathered from the U.S. Census survey data from the middle of June. Approximately 16% of renters have fallen behind on their rent, including 20% of renters with children in their household. Now, the federal eviction moratorium is set to expire on July 31st, and it doesn't forgive rent that is owed, it just pushes the debt into the future. So a wave of evictions may be coming soon. Millions are also struggling to pay their mortgage. Now, the Biden administration, which authored the third round of stimulus checks, isn't against a fourth round. However, President Biden has stated that he recognizes the high price tag. He also seems to have other priorities, namely the American Jobs Plan and the American Families Plan, and neither one of these proposed include another round of relief payments in its current form. Alright guys, so that is where we are with the world of stimulus. Please comment below and let me know your thoughts. If you found value in the video, do me a favor and tap the like button and share it with others. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell as I'm posting content multiple times a week. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.